What is the state of consciousness that stems from a misunderstanding of your true nature when you worry? You are operating from a limited, finite sense of self. You are identifying with your physical body and your personal history, forgetting that you're not being that you truly are. But I tell you now, you are not your body. You are not your personal history. You are not even the sum of your thoughts and emotions. You are the awareness in which all these experiences arise. You are the infinite creative power of the universe, expressing itself as a human being. When you truly understand, this worry becomes impossible. For how can the infinite creative power of the universe worry about anything? How can God, which you are, be concerned about solving a problem? Let us delve deeper into this concept. The world you see around you is not the cause of your experience, but the effect. It is the outpatient of your states of consciousness. Every circumstance in your life, every challenge you face, is a reflection of your inner world. Therefore, when you worry about a problem, you are actually giving power to that problem. You are affirming its reality in your consciousness, and thus in your experience. But when you rest in the knowledge that God, the God within you, will solve it, you are aligning yourself with the created power of the universe. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful optimism. This is a fundamental law of consciousness, just as the seed contains within it the pattern of the fully grown plant. Your consciousness contains within it the solution to every problem you could ever face. When you say God will solve it, you are not advocating responsibility or passively waiting for some external force to intervene. You are declaring your alignment with the infinite intelligence within you. You are acknowledging that the power that created the universe is fully capable of handling whatever situation you are facing. Now, some of you might be thinking, but never have real problems. How can I not worry? I understand this concern. The challenges of life can seem overwhelming when viewed from a limited perspective. But I ask you to shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the state of consciousness where the problem is already solved. This is what I mean when I say God will solve it. You are moving your attention from the problem to the solution, from the question to the answer. Imagine for a moment that your problem, whatever it may be, is already solved. How would you? What would your mental state be? This feeling, this state of consciousness, is the key to allowing God to solve your problem. You see, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are stepping into the consciousness of the version of you for whom the problem is already solved. This is not pretend, so self-deception. This is the use of your imagination, which is God in action within you. Imagination is not a separate part of you. It is the very essence of your being. It is creative power through which all things are possible. When you imagine the solution, when you feel the relief and gratitude of your problem being solved, you are literally reshaping the substance of the universe. You are setting in motion the forces that will bring about the solution in your physical reality. Now let us address a common misunderstanding about this principle. Some might think that saying God will solve it means doing nothing, simply waiting for a solution to magically appear. But this is not the case at all. When you truly align yourself with the consciousness of the solution, you will be inspired to take what I call the right action. This action will not feel like struggle or effort. It will feel natural, even inevitable. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, saying the right words, meeting the right people. This is because you are no longer operating from the limited perspective of the problem. You are from the expanded consciousness of the solution. Your actions are no longer driven by fear or worry, but by inspiration and inner guidance. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no power to create or to change. All creation happens first in consciousness. Your job is not to manipulate the outer world, but to change your inner world. As you change within, the outer must conform. Let us now explore the concept of faith in relation to God will solve it. Faith is not. Believe it's something outside of yourself. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is annoying beyond physical evidence. When you have true faith that God will solve your problem, you are not hoping for a future event. You are acknowledging a present fact. You are recognizing that in the realm of pure consciousness where all creation takes place, your problem is already solved. This kind of faith, mountains, it transforms the very fabric of your reality. For when you have absolute faith that God will solve it, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are becoming one with the solution now. Some of you might be wondering about the role of time in this process. You might be thinking, when will God solve my problem? But I tell you now, time is an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled with conviction. The time it takes for this to appear in your physical reality is determined by your faith and your persistence in the assumed state. So do not concern yourself with when or how God will solve your problem. Your job is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end, to embody the consciousness of the solution. How and when will take care of themselves. Let us now address the concept of surrender in relation to God will solve it. Surrender is not about giving up or admitting defeat. It is about releasing your attachment to how things should be and trusting in the higher intelligence of the universe. When you truly surrender your problem to God, you are not washing your hands of it. You are acknowledging that the infinite intelligence within you, which created the universe, is fully capable of handling whatever situation you are facing you. This surrender allows you to step out of the limited perspective of the problem and into the expanded consciousness of the solution. It frees you from the burden of trying to figure everything out with your finite mind, allowing the infinite intelligence of the universe to work through you. Remember, worry is a form of negative creation. When you worry, you are using to create what you do not want. But when you surrender your problem to God, saying with conviction, God will solve it, you are using your imagination constructively. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. Now let us explore the concept of gratitude in relation to God. Solve it. Gratitude is not just a polite sentiment. It is a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality even before it manifests in the physical realm. So as you trust that God will solve your problem, cultivate a deep sense of. Be thankful not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen solution that is even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. This gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity. It opens you to receive the solution that God is providing. It aligns you with the abundance of the universe. Practice gratitude, not from a place of lack hoping to receive, but from a place of fullness, knowing you already have. Let us now address the concept. The touch might seem contradictory to what we've discussed about faith and gratitude, but it's actually covenantary. The attachment doesn't mean not caring about the solution to your problem. It means releasing your anxious attachment to how or when it will manifest. When you're anxiously attached to the outcome, you're actually affirming the presence of the problem. You're saying, I need the solution because I have this problem. This state of consciousness keeps the problem alive in your experience. True detachment comes from the deep, knowing that God has already solved your problem in consciousness, and therefore it must manifest in your physical reality. It's a state of calm certainty, of knowing the law is at work even when you can't see the evidence yet. This detachment allows you to truly live. The end. You're not waiting for something to happen. You're simply being who you are, a person for whom the problem is already solved. This state of being is far more powerful than any amount of doing or trying. Now let us discuss the concept of revision. Revision is a powerful tool in allowing God to solve your problems each night. Before you sleep, review the events of your day, but do not review them as they appear to your senses. Revise them to align with the state of your problem being solved. If you encounter challenges related to your problem during the day, revise them. See them as stepping stones towards the solution. If you had negative thoughts, so emotions about your problem, see yourself responding with faith and confidence. Knowing that God is solving it, you are not denying what happened. You are actively reshaping your memory and thus your future. Remember, your memories are not fixed. They are fluid, constantly being reconstructed. By consciously revising your memories, you are literally reread. As you change your past in your imagination, you change the trajectory of your future. Let us now explore the concept of persistence. Trusting that God will solve your problem is not a one-time event. It is a continuous choice. You must persist in this state of faith and surrender even when the outer world shows no sign of change. This persistence is what distinguishes those who successfully manifest their desires from those who do not. Think of it like this. When you move to a new home, you don't wake up each morning wondering where you are. You naturally assume your new surroundings. This is how you must be with your faith that God will solve your problem. It should become your new normal, your new home state. But what if you falter? What if you find yourself stepping back into worrying doubt? Do not despair. Simply acknowledge it and return to your state of faith and surrender. Remember, you are breaking lifelong habits of thought and feeling. It takes practice. Patient with yourself, but persist. Now let us address the concept of everyone. As you pushed out, this principle states that everyone in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. The way people treat you, the opportunities that come your way, even seemingly random events in your life, or reflections of your state of being. This understanding brings with it that great responsibility. It means that if you want to experience a world where your problems are solved, you must first embody that state within yourself. As you trust that God will solve your problems, you will naturally see others differently, and they will respond differently to you. During this process of trusting God to solve your problems, be aware of how you perceive others. Our perceptions align with the reality of your problem being solved. If not, consciously choose to see others in a way that supports your faith. See them as helpful, supportive, playing their perfect part in the unfolding of solution. Remember, you are not manipulating others. You are simply aligning your perception with your desired reality, and others will naturally conform to this new perception. Let us now delve into the concept of the law assumption. This law states that if you assume a state and persist in it, it must become your reality. When you assume the state of your problem being solved, when you live from the consciousness of God will solve it, you are setting in motion the forces that will bring this assumption into your physical reality. This is not about forcing or manipulating external circumstances. It's about aligning yourself with the reality where your problem is already solved. When you truly assume this state, you're not trying to make something happen. You're experiencing the state of it already being done. Imagine you have a friend who lives in another city. When you think of this friend, you don't visualize them or affirm their existence. You simply know they exist. This is the kind of knowing you must have about to your problem. It should be as real and as natural to you as the existence of your distant friend. This state of knowing, of living from the end, is what truly activates the law of assumption. It aligns your entire being, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions with the reality of your problem being solved, and in this alignment, miracles happen. Now, let us address the role of emotion in this process. Emotion is crucial. It is the fuel that gives life to your assumption when you assume the state of your problem being solved. You must feel the reality of it. You must experience the relief, the joy, the gratitude of the solution. But here's a key point. These emotions should not be intense, or they should be natural calm, the kind of quiet joy you feel when you think of something you already possess. Remember, you not trying to convince yourself of something. You are simply acknowledging what is already true in your consciousness. Let us now explore the concept of the Sabbath. The Sabbath, in this context, is not about a particular day of the week, but about a state of mind. It is a state of complete rest from all effort. A state of knowing that your work is done in the process of allowing God to solve your problem. Sabbath state is crucial. It is the state of total acceptance of the solution as an accomplished fact. In this state, you no longer feel the need to make the solution happen because you know it is already done. Practice entering the Sabbath state. After you've done your imaginative work, after you've assumed the feeling of your problem being solved consciously and your state of rest, release all need to make it happen. And know that God is at work and your only task now is to rest in the certainty, the solution. Now let us address the concept of divine timing. Often when we are facing a problem, we want an immediate solution. We want God to solve it right now. But remember, in the realm of pure consciousness, there is no time. Your problem is already solved the moment you assume the state of the solution with conviction. The time it takes for the solution to appear in your physical reality is determined by divine timing. This is not about some external force making you wait. It's about the perfect holding of events that will bring about your solution in the most harmonious way. Trust in this divine timing. Know that the solution is already yours in consciousness and it will manifest in your physical reality at the perfect moment. Your job is not to worry about when or how, but to maintain your faith and live from the end. Let us now explore the concept of your divine nature. When I say God will solve it, I am not referring to an external deity. I am referring to the God within you, the divine created power. That is your very essence. You are not a mere human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are God individualized, the infinite creative power of the universe expressing itself as you. When you truly understand this, you realize that there is no problem too big for you to handle. There is no charge that God cannot solve because you are that God. The power that created the universe resides within you, and it is fully capable of solving whatever problem you are facing. Now let us address the concept of resistance. When you are facing a problem, it is natural to feel resistance. You want to push against the problem to fight it, to overcome it. But this resistance often keeps the problem in place. Remember, what you resist persists. When you resist a problem, you are giving it your energy and attention. You are affirming its reality in your consciousness. Instead of resisting your problem, practice acceptance. This doesn't mean you like the program or want it to continue. It means you accept that in this moment, this is what is. Then, from this place of acceptance, you can more easily shift into the consciousness of the solution. Let us now explore the concept of your inner conversations. You're in the thoughts you think and the words you speak to yourself are shaping your reality. When you're constantly thinking and talking about your problem, you're reinforcing its existence in your experience. Start paying attention to your inner conversations. Are they aligned with the state of your problem being solved? Or are they keeping you stuck in the consciousness of the problem? Practice having inner conversations that align with the solution. Speak to yourself as if your problem is already solved. Have imagined conversations with others where you discuss the wonderful resolution of your situation. These inner conversations are powerful creative forces that shape your reality. Now let us address the concept of your self-concept. Your self-concept. The way you see yourself plays a crucial role in our land. Got to solve your problems. If you see yourself as someone who is always struggling, always facing problems, that's the reality you'll create. But if you see yourself as someone who is divinely guided and supported, for whom solutions come easily, that's the reality of experience. Work on upgrading your self-concept. See yourself as someone who naturally attracts divine solutions. Any challenge. Remember, you are not changing who you are. You are simply aligning with your true divine nature, recognizing the God within you that is fully capable of solving any problem. Let us now explore the concept of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a powerful tool in allowing God to solve your problems. Often our problems are tied to resentments, grudges, or unforgiveness towards ourselves or others. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior. It means releasing the emotional charge of past, so they no longer control you. As you forgive yourself and others, you clear the path for divine solutions to flow into your life. Practice forgiveness daily. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Forgive others for perceived wrongs. As you do this, you'll find that solutions to your problems come more easily and naturally. Now let us delve deeper into the concept of living in the end. When you say God will solve it, you are not hoping for a future event. You are acknowledging a present fact in the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place. Your problem is already solved. Living in the end means experiencing your desire as a present fact, not a future possibility. It's about feeling the relief, the joy, the gratitude of your problem being solved right now in this moment. This state of consciousness collapses time and brings your desire into the present moment, making its manifestation inevitable. Remember, in the realm of imagination, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of its fulfillment. With conviction, the time it takes for this to appear in your physical reality is determined by your faith and your persistence in the assumed state. Let us now address the concept of the law of reversed effort. This law states that the harder you try to achieve something, the more you push it away. This is why so many people struggle to solve their problems. They're trying too hard, and in that effort they are actually affirming the presence of the problem. Instead of striving and struggling, relax into the knowing that God will solve it. Release all effort. You are not trying to solve the problem. You are simply acknowledging the solution that is already using consciousness. This state of effortless acceptance is far more powerful than any amount of trying or struggling. No. Let us explore the concept of the bridge of incidents. When you assume the state of your problem being solved, a series of events is set in motion to bring about the manifestation of your desire. This series of events is called the incidents. The key here is to trust the bridge. You don't need to know how God will solve your problem. Your job is simply to maintain your assumption and allow the bridge to unfold naturally. Each event, each encounter, each seeming coincidence is a part of this bridge, leading you to the full manifestation of your solved problem. Let's address the concept of dimensional shifting. This is the idea that for every possible, there is a version of you already experiencing it, your task. In allowing God to solve your problem is not to create something new, but to shift your consciousness to align with conversion of you for whom the problem is already solved. Practice speaking from the perspective of the you who has already experienced the solution. How would that version of you think? How would they feel? What decisions would they make? Align yourself with this version of you, and you will naturally shift into the reality where your problem is solved now. Let us delve into the power of your self-talk. Your self-talk is not just idle chattering your mind, it's a declaration to the universe. The way you speak to yourself about your problems and their solutions is shaping your reality. Stop paying attention to, talk, are you constantly affirming the presence of your problem? Or are you speaking as if the solution is already yours? Choose your words consciously. Speak as if God has already solved your problem. Use phrases, I am so grateful that this situation has been resolved, instead of, hope this problem will be solved. Let us explore the concept of non-resistance once more. Non-resistance doesn't mean being passive or accepting undesirable circumstances. It means not giving your problem any more power through your resistance to it. When you fight against it, you are actually energizing it. You are giving it your attention and your emotional energy. Instead, practice non-resistance. Acknowledge the problem with our judgment, then shift your attention to the state of the solution. Now let us address the concept of your point of power. Your point of is always in the present moment. It's not in the past. Where the problem might have originated, it's not in the future where you hope the solution will come. It's right here, right now. In this present moment, you have the power to choose your state of consciousness. You have the power to align yourself with the reality where God has already solved your problem. Use this point of power wisely. Choose thoughts, feelings, and actions that align with the solution, not the problem. Let us delve into the concept of your I am. Your I am is your true self, the God within you. It is the creative power through which all things are possible. When you say I am, you are invoking this created power. Be very careful with what you attach to your I am. I am struggling with this problem. Creates a very different reality than I am. Grateful for the divine solution to this situation. Choose your I am statements wisely. Finite are powerful created forces. Now let us explore the concept of your imagination once more. Your imagination is not mere fantasy or daydreaming. It is God in action within you. It is the creative power through which all things are made. When you use your imagination to experience the solution to your problem, you are literally reshaping the substance of the universe. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality of the solution. And your subconscious mind must then work to bring this impressed image into your physical experience. Let us address the concept of detachment once again. A detachment doesn't mean not caring about the solution to your problem. It means releasing your anxious attachment to how or when it will manifest. When you're anxiously attached to the outcome, you are actually affirming the presence of the problem. You are saying, I need this solution because I have this problem. This state of consciousness keeps the problem alive in your experience. True detachment comes from the deep, knowing that God has already solved your problem in consciousness, and therefore it must manifest in your physical reality. It's a state of calm certainty of knowing the law is at work, even when you can't see the evidence yet. Explore the concept of your state of consciousness. Your state of consciousness is the sum total of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs in any given moment. It is the lens through which you perceive and interact with reality. When you say God will solve it, you are choosing to occupy a state of consciousness where the solution is already a fact. This state of consciousness then shapes your perception and your experience of reality. Remember, you are not trying to change the outer world, you are changing your state of consciousness. And as you do, the outer world must conform to match this new real state. This addressed the concept of your created power once more. You are not a powerless being at the mercy of external circumstances. You are a created being made in the image and likeness of God. The power that created the universe resides within you. When you say God will solve it, you are acknowledging this creative power within you, are aligning yourself with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates the cosmos. Trust in this power. Have faith in your ability to create the reality you desire. Let us explore the concept of your divine timing once again. Divine timing is not about some external force making you wait for your solution. It's about the perfect unfolding of events that will bring about your solution in the most harmonious way. Trust in this divine timing. Know that the solution is already yours in consciousness, and it will manifest in your physical reality at the perfect moment. Your job is not to worry about when or how, but to maintain your faith and live from the end. Let us address the concept of your inner knowing. Beyond your emotions, there is a deep inner knowing within you. This is the voice of God, the infinite intelligence that knows exactly how to solve your problem. Learn to listen to this inner knowing. It often speaks in subtle ways. A quiet nudge, a sudden inspiration, a feeling of peace. As you trust this inner knowing, you'll find yourself naturally guided towards the solution to your problem. Now let us explore the concept of your divine nature once more. You are not separate from God. You are an individualized expression of God. The power that created the universe is not outside of you. Is you. When you truly understand this, you realize that there is no problem too big for you to handle. There is no charge that God cannot solve, because you are that God. The power that created the universe resides within you, as it is fully capable of solving whatever problem you are facing. In conclusion, remember that God will solve it is not a passive statement of hope. It is a powerful declaration of your alignment with the creative forces of the universe. It is an acknowledgement of your true divine nature and your inherent ability to create the reality you desire. Trust in this truth. Have faith in the God within you live from the state of your problem being solved, and watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner state, for truly, with God, all things are possible. In this world of ours, we often feel powerless, victims of circumstance and fate. But I tell you now, this is the greatest illusion of all. For within you resides the power to create, to manifest, to bring forth your deepest desires into tangible reality. This power is not something to be earned or acquired, but a gift bestowed upon you by the very nature of your existence. Consider for a moment the vast universe that surrounds us, the infinite stars, the boundless galaxies, the intricate dance of planets and celestial bodies. All of this, every atom and particle, is but an expression of the divine imagination. And you, my dear friends, are cut from the same cloth, your imagination incarnate a living, breathing expression of God's creative power. Now, you may ask, if I possess such power, why does my life not reflect my desires? The answer, my friends, is simple yet profound. You have been using this power unconsciously, unaware of its true nature and potential. Your current circumstances, be they joyous or challenging, are but the fruits of your past imaginings. To harness this God-gifted power, we must first understand its nature. It is not something external to be grasped or manipulated, but an internal state to be realized and embodied. This power responds not to your conscious wishes or fleeting desires, but to the deepest convictions of your heart and mind. Imagine, if you will, a seed planted in fertile soil. This seed contains within it the blueprint of a mighty oak tree. It does not struggle or strain to become a tree. It simply unfolds according to its nature, drawing nourishment from its environment. In the same way, your desires contain within them the seeds of their own fulfillment. Your task is not to force them into being, but to provide the fertile soil of your consciousness for them to take root and flourish. The first step in this process is to cultivate awareness. Become acutely conscious of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, for these are the building blocks of your reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold is a seed planted in the garden of your life. What harvest are you currently reaping? As you become aware of your inner world, you may discover thoughts and beliefs that do not serve your highest good. Limiting beliefs, self-doubt, fear, these are the weeds that choke the light from your desires. But do not despair, for just as you have the power to create, you have the power to transform. The next step is to harness the power of your imagination. For imagination is the language of the divine, the very substance of creation. When you imagine, you are not engaging in mere fantasy or daydreaming. You are in fact shaping the very fabric of your reality. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your ideal life. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your ideal life. See it in vivid detail. Feel the emotions associated with living that life. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, taste the flavors of your desire and reality. As you do this, you are not merely visualizing, you are experiencing your desire in the realm of imagination, which is the womb of physical manifestation. But imagination alone is not enough. For your imaginal acts to bear fruit in the physical world, they must be coupled with unwavering faith. Faith, my friends, is not blind belief in the unseen. It is the conviction of the reality of the imagined state. When you have true faith, you do not hope for your desire to manifest. You know with absolute certainty that it is already yours. This knowing, this unshakable faith, is the key that unlocks the door to your desired reality. For you see, in the realm of the divine, there is no past, present, or future. All exists in an eternal now. Therefore, when you imagine your desire fulfilled and feel the reality of it, with every fiber of your being, you are in that moment, experiencing it as an accomplished fact. The power of this realization cannot be overstated, for when you truly understand and embody this truth, you cease to strive and struggle. You no longer feel the need to manipulate external circumstances or control others to achieve your goals. Instead, you rest in the calm assurance that your desire is already yours, and that the outer world must conform to this inner knowing. This, my dear friends, is the state of living from the end. It is a state where you no longer pray to a distant God for your desires to be fulfilled, but instead you pray from the consciousness of the wish fulfilled. You give thanks not for what you hope to receive, but for what you know you already possess. Living from the end requires a fundamental shift in consciousness. It calls for you to abandon your old identity, your old story, and step fully into the version of yourself that has already achieved your desire. This is not pretense or make-believe. It is a recognition of your true nature as a divine being capable of shaping reality through the power of consciousness. As you embrace this new state of being, you may find that the outer world seems slow to catch up. This is where patience and persistence come into play. Remember, just as a seed takes time to sprout and grow into a mighty tree, your imaginal acts need time to bear fruit in the physical realm. During this period of gestation, it is crucial to maintain your faith. Do not waver in your conviction, no matter what your physical senses may tell you, for the outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. Your task is to hold steadfast to your new state of consciousness, knowing that the outer must inevitably conform to the inner. This process of manifestation is not about forcing change or manipulating circumstances. It is about aligning yourself with the natural flow of divine creation. Just as a river does not struggle to reach the ocean, but flows effortlessly along the path of least resistance, your desires will manifest with ease and grace when you align yourself with the divine flow. To maintain this alignment, it is essential to cultivate a sense of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite sentiment, but a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality even before it manifests in the physical realm. Practice gratitude not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen blessings that are even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. As you do this, you open yourself to receive even greater blessings. Another crucial aspect of harnessing your God-gifted power is to release attachment to outcomes. This may seem counterintuitive, for how can you manifest your desires if you are not attached to them? But attachment, my friends, is born of fear and lack. It is a subtle affirmation that you do not yet possess what you desire. Instead, cultivate a state of allowing trust in the wisdom of the divine to bring your desires to fruition in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Your job is not to orchestrate the how and when of manifestation, but to hold the energy of your desire with unwavering faith and joyful expectation. As you practice these principles, you may find that your desires begin to shift and evolve. This is natural and to be welcomed. For as you align yourself more fully with your divine nature, your desires will naturally align with your highest good and the highest good of all. Do not be afraid to dream big, to desire greatly. The power within you is infinite, capable of manifesting realities beyond your wildest imaginings. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. As you tap into this divine creative force, use it wisely and with love. For you see, this power is not given to you for selfish gain or to dominate others. It is bestowed upon you as a sacred trust to be used in service of the greater good. As you manifest your desires, consider how your fulfilled wishes can bring light, love and joy not just to yourself, but to all those around you. Imagine a world where every individual recognizes and harnesses this God-gifted power. A world where each person lives from a state of abundance, love, and joy. This, my friends, is not a utopian fantasy, but the very reality we are called to create. As you step into this new understanding of your divine nature and creative power, you may encounter resistance, both from within yourself and from the world around you. This is to be expected. For centuries, we have been conditioned to believe in our limitations, to see ourselves as separate from the divine and powerless to shape our reality. But I tell you now, these beliefs are nothing more than illusions, shadows cast by the light of truth. They have no power over you unless you give them power through your belief. When you encounter such resistance, do not fight against it. Instead, observe it with detachment, recognizing it for what it is, the last gasp of an old paradigm that no longer serves you. Remember, what you resist persists. By fighting against limiting beliefs or challenging circumstances, you are inadvertently giving them power and prolonging their existence in your reality. Instead, turn your attention fully to the new state you wish to embody. Feed it with your faith, nurture it with your imagination, and watch as it grows stronger, eventually displacing the old. This process of transformation is not always easy or comfortable. It requires courage to let go of the familiar, even when the familiar no longer serves you. It demands faith to step into the unknown, trusting in the unseen. But I assure you the rewards are beyond measure. As you begin to live from this new state of consciousness, you may find that your entire perception of the world shifts. What once seemed impossible becomes probable. What was once a struggle becomes effortless. You begin to see the hand of the divine in every aspect of your life, guiding you, supporting you, conspiring in your favor. This shift in perception is not just a pleasant side effect of manifesting your desires. It is, in fact, the very key to sustained success and fulfillment. For when you see the world through the eyes of the divine, you recognize the inherent abundance and perfection of all that is. You cease to operate from a place of lack of fear and instead move through life with grace and ease. In this state of divine perception, synchronicities abound. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, encountering the perfect opportunities. This is not mere coincidence, but the natural result of aligning yourself with the flow of divine creation. As you continue to practice living from the end, imagining your desires fulfilled and embodying the consciousness of your ideal self, you may find that the very nature of your desires evolves. What once seemed important may fall away, replaced by deeper, more meaningful aspirations. This, too, is part of the journey. For as you align more fully with your divine nature, your desires naturally come into harmony with your highest good and the highest good of all. You begin to desire not just for yourself, but for the betterment of all humanity. Imagine, if you will, a world where every individual recognizes and admits this God-gifted power, a world where each person lives from a state of abundance, love, and joy, where competition gives way to cooperation, where fear is replaced by faith, and where lack is transformed into plenty. This, my dear friends, is not a utopian fantasy, but the very reality we are called to create. And it begins with you here and now, recognizing and claiming your divine nature and creative power. As you step into this new understanding, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your very presence becomes a testament to the transformative power of living in alignment with divine truth. Others will be drawn to your light, curious about the source of your peace, your joy, your unwavering faith. And here lies your greatest opportunity for service. For as you share your understanding, as you demonstrate through your own life the reality of these principles, you become a catalyst for global transformation. You become an instrument of divine will, playing your unique part in the grand symphony of creation. But remember, dear ones, this is not about proselytizing or forcing your beliefs upon others. It is about living your truth so fully, so joyfully that others cannot help but take notice. It is about being a living example of the power of imagination, faith, and divine alignment. As you continue on this path, you may encounter moments of doubt or uncertainty. This is natural and to be expected, for you are navigating uncharted waters, breaking free from the limitations of conventional thinking and stepping into the boundless realm of divine possibility. In these moments, return to the basics. Remind yourself of your true nature as an expression of the divine. Reconnect with the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Reaffirm your faith in the unseen reality that is even now taking shape in your life. And above all, be patient and kind with yourself. This journey of awakening and manifestation is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous unfolding. Each day brings new opportunities for growth, for deepening your understanding, for expanding your capacity to receive and express divine love and creativity. Remember, the power you are learning to harness is not something external to be acquired or achieved. It is your very essence, the core of your being. You are not becoming something you are not. You are simply remembering who you truly are. As you embrace this truth, you may find that your entire approach to life shifts. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles to be overcome, you recognize them as opportunities for growth and expansion. Instead of fearing change, you welcome it as a sign of your evolving consciousness. You begin to see every experience, every interaction, every moment as a gift, a precious opportunity to express and experience your divine nature. Even seeming setbacks or disappointments are recognized as stepping stones, guiding you towards greater alignment with your true self and your highest good. In this state of divine awareness, you no longer need to seek happiness or fulfillment from external sources. You recognize that true joy lasts in peace and boundless love arises from within, from your connection to the divine source of all being. This inner wellspring of joy becomes the foundation of your life, informing every thought, word, and action. You no longer act from a place of need or lack, but from a place of fullness and abundance. Your relationships deepen, your work becomes more fulfilling, and your impact on the world grows exponentially. As you continue to live from this expanded state of consciousness, you may find that your very presence becomes a transformative force in the world. Without effort or intention, you begin to uplift those around you, inspiring them to recognize and claim their own divine nature and creative power. This, dear ones, is the ripple effect of living in alignment with divine truth. As you transform your own life through the power of imagination and faith, you create a field of possibility that touches everyone, everything around you. Imagine the collective impact if each one of us were to fully embrace and express our divine nature. The world as we know it would be transformed overnight. Conflict would give way to cooperation, scarcity to abundance, fear to love. This is not a far-off dream, but a very real possibility. And it begins with you here and now, choosing to live from the consciousness of your divine self, choosing to see the world through the eyes of love, choosing to use your God-gifted power to create a life in a world that reflects the highest truth of who you are. As we draw this discourse to a close, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on what you've heard. Allow these truths to sink deep into your being, to take root in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Remember, the power to manifest your desired life is not something you need to acquire or develop. It is your birthright, your inherent nature as an expression of the divine. Your task is simply to awaken to this truth, to align yourself with it, and to live from it with unwavering faith and joyful expectation. Begin today. Choose one desire, one aspect of your life that you wish to transform. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel the reality of it with every fiber of your being. Give thanks for it as if it were already accomplished. Then release it to the divine wisdom that orchestrates all of creation, trusting that it will manifest in the perfect way and at the perfect time. As you do this, pay attention to the subtle shifts in your consciousness. Notice how your perception of yourself and the world around you begins to change. Observe the synchronicities that begin to appear in your life, guiding you towards the fulfillment of your desire. Remember, this is not a one-time exercise, but a new way of being. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. There may be moments of doubt or confusion along the way. When these arise, return to the truth of your divine nature. Reconnect with the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Reaffirm your faith in the unseen reality that is even now taking shape in your life. And above all, be kind and compassionate with yourself as you navigate this journey of awakening and manifestation. Celebrate each step forward, no matter how small it may seem. For each moment of alignment, each act of faith, each expression of gratitude is a powerful affirmation of your true nature and a step towards the full realization of your divine potential. As you continue to practice these principles, you will find that manifesting your desires becomes increasingly effortless. It becomes less about doing and more about being the version of yourself that has already achieved your desire, being in alignment with the diamond flow of creation, being an expression of love, abundance, and joy. Remember, dear ones, you are not separate from God, but an individualized expression of the divine itself. The power to create, to manifest, to transform is not something outside of you, but the very essence of who you are. As you awaken to this truth and learn to live from it, you become a powerful force for good in the world, a beacon of light guiding others towards their own divine nature. Go forth now with the knowledge of your true nature and power. Embrace your divine identity as the creator of your reality. Imagine your desires fulfilled, feel the emotions of achievement, and live from that state of consciousness. Your faith, coupled with divine imagination, is the catalyst for transformation. Remember, manifestation is not about force, but alignment with the divine flow. Cultivate gratitude, release attachment to outcomes, and trust in perfect timing. As you evolve, your desires may shift. Welcome this as part of your spiritual growth. Use this power responsibly, considering how your manifested desires can benefit others. Envision a world where everyone recognizes their divine nature, creating a reality of abundance, love, and joy for all. When facing doubts or challenges, return to these core principles. Be patient and kind with yourself as you deepen your understanding and expand your capacity to receive. Your journey of awakening is ongoing. Each experience is an opportunity to express your divine nature. Find joy and fulfillment within, letting it inform your thoughts and actions. As you align with divine truth, you become a transformative presence, inspiring others to recognize their own power. This ripple effect has the potential to change the world. Start today. Choose one desire, visualize it clearly, feel its reality, and give thanks for its fulfillment. Observe the shifts in your consciousness and the synchronicities that guide you. Practice consistently being compassionate with yourself along the way. Celebrate each step forward, knowing that every moment of alignment affirms your true nature. Remember, you are an expression of the divine. The power to create and transform is your essence. As you live from this truth, you become a beacon of light, guiding others to their own divine nature. Go forth and create the life you desire, knowing that as you do so, you contribute to the elevation of all humanity. Your journey of divine manifestation begins now. Embrace it with joy, faith, and the unshakable knowledge of your true, limitless nature. There is a presence within you greater than any obstacle you face, mightier than any storm you endure. This presence is not outside of you, nor is it separate from you. It is the very essence of your being. You have been conditioned to believe in struggle, in fear, in doubt, but today you are being called to release it all. Let go of the weight you have carried for too long, for it is not yours to bear. The very thing you are worried about is already resolved in the unseen. The moment you surrender your worry, you open the door for divine intervention. You do not need to struggle, to beg, or to plead. God does not require desperation. He requires trust. He does not respond to fear. He responds to faith. What you hold in your mind, you hold in your hands. And if your mind is filled with doubt, fear, and worry, you will see more of the same in your life. But if your mind is filled with trust, with certainty, with the knowing that all is well, then your world must reflect this truth. You are not placed on this earth to suffer, to be lost, to feel abandoned. You are a child of the divine, an expression of the infinite, and you have within you the power to shift everything. The same power that created the heavens and the earth moves through you now. It is waiting for you to acknowledge it, to believe in it, to rest in its certainty. The battle is not yours to fight, for the victory has already been won. So the answer exists before the question is even asked. Look around you. Every star, every wave, every blade of grass exists in perfect order. There is no chaos in creation, no randomness in divine design. If the entire universe is held together by perfect harmony, how much more are you cared for? How much more are you seen, guided, and loved? You have been taught to measure your life by what your eyes can see, but what is seen is only a reflection of what is unseen. The truth is, the moment you ask, it is given. The moment you knock, the door is open. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Every moment of your life, God has been leading you even when you could not see it. Every hardship, every delay, every closed door was guiding you towards something greater. The divine plan is unfolding even now, and it is greater than anything you have imagined. Do not be deceived by appearances. What looks like an ending is only a beginning. What seems like loss is merely a passage to something better. Today, let go of the need to control, to overthink, to force things into place. Stand still and know that He is God. When you surrender, miracles begin. When you rest in faith, the path is made clear. When you believe, all things become possible. The burdens you carry are lifted. The fears that have weighed you down dissolve. The solution is already here. It is done. It is finished. Now, all you must do is trust. There is nothing in your life that is beyond the reach of God's power. Nothing too broken, nothing too lost, nothing too far gone. The mind has been trained to believe in limitations, in obstacles and impossibilities. But God knows no such thing. What you call a problem, He calls an opportunity. What you see as a delay, He sees as perfect timing. What you feel is overwhelming is nothing in the presence of the infinite. And so today you are being called to step out of worry and into trust. The mind will tell you that if you do not worry, you are being irresponsible. That if you do not struggle, you are not trying hard enough. But what if the opposite were true? What if your very effort, your very worry is the thing standing in the way? What if the moment you surrender, you allow the floodgates of heaven to open? You are being asked to do something radical, to trust that all is well even when your senses tell you otherwise, to direct your mind and to know that all your senses let them know where you are. If you really believe in what you cannot yet see, to hold on to the knowing that the same God who brought you this far will not abandon you now. There is a divine intelligence that orchestrates all things. It knows the way when you cannot see it. It has prepared a path when you feel lost. It has already answered before you even asked. But worry blinds you. It clutters your mind with doubt and fills your heart with fear. Worry is a thief. It steals your peace, your joy, your clarity. And yet, it changes nothing. Not once has worry solved a problem. Listen and listen in action. Not once has anxiety made a way where there was none. But trust has moved mountains. Trust has parted seas. Trust has made the impossible possible. The problem is not that God is not working in your life. The problem is that you are looking in the wrong direction. You are searching with your physical eyes instead of your spiritual ones. You are measuring progress by what you can touch instead of what is already unfolding in the unseen. What you seek is already here, but you must align yourself with it. And alignment does not come through worry. It comes through faith. Have you ever noticed how effortlessly the sun rises each morning? It does not struggle. It does not force its way through the darkness. It simply appears as it was designed to do. This is how your blessings will come effortlessly, naturally, in perfect time, but only if you allow it. Only if you stop resisting. Only if you stop doubting what has already been promised to you. Everything that is happening in your life right now, even the things you do not understand, is part of a greater plan. The delays are not denials. The closed doors are not punishments. The detours are not mistakes. They are all pieces of a divine masterpiece, one that is being woven together in ways far beyond your comprehension. And when you finally see it come together, when you finally witness what God has been preparing for you all along, you will understand why you had to wait, why certain things had to fall apart, why certain people had to leave, why certain prayers seemed unanswered. But in truth, no prayer ever goes unanswered. Every word you have ever spoken, every silent cry, every whispered hope has been heard, and not only heard, but answered. The answer exists even now, but it is waiting for you to receive it. And you cannot receive with hands that are clenched in fear. You cannot receive with a heart that is burdened with doubt. You must release. You must open yourself to the truth that God is not just with you. He is within you. And within Him there is no lack, no struggle, no failure. What if you lived today as if everything you needed was already on its way? What if you spoke as if the solution was already here? What if you carried yourself with the confidence of someone who knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that their prayers had already been answered? Would you still worry? Would you still stress? Or would you walk in peace, knowing that all things are unfolding exactly as they should? There is a reason you are hearing this message today. There are no accidents in the divine order of things. God is speaking to you, calling you to a higher way of being. You have been trapped in worry for too long. You have allowed fear to take up residence in your heart for too long, but no more. Today is the day you release it. Today is the day you choose faith over fear. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you find peace. Do not wait for everything to make sense before you trust. Faith does not wait for evidence. It creates it. Faith does not need proof. It is the proof. And the moment you embody this faith, the moment you live in the certainty that God has already solved, your reality will shift. What once seemed impossible will become effortless. The doors that once felt locked will swing open. The path that once seemed unclear will be illuminated. You are closer than you think. The breakthrough is not ahead of you. It is within you. The moment you stop seeking outside of yourself, the moment you stop doubting, you will see it. God has already made a way. You do not need to fight for it. You do not need to earn it. You only need to believe. And when you do, everything will change. You have been searching for answers, trying to find solutions, trying to figure out how everything will come together. But the answer has never been outside of you. The answer has been within you this entire time. God has already spoken. He has already declared victory over your life. He has already set things in motion. And nothing can stop what He has ordained for you. You do not need to chase after what is already yours. You do not need to struggle for what has already been given. The only thing required of you is belief. And belief is not just a fleeting thought. It is a deep inner knowing, an unshakable conviction that no matter what appears before you, the truth remains unchanged. The truth is that you are taken care of. The truth is that you are guided, protected, and provided for. The truth is that the same power that created the universe is within you, working through you, unfolding every detail of your life in perfect harmony. Worry is a habit, and like all habits, it can be broken. You have become so accustomed to anticipating problems, preparing for disappointments, and expecting delays that you have unknowingly conditioned yourself to live in a state of fear. But you were not created to live this way. You were not created to dwell in anxiety, to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. God never asked you to figure it all out. Chocanus came away. God never asked you to figure it all out. He never asked you to fix everything on your own. He only asked you to trust. When a child is in the arms of a loving parent, they do not worry about what will happen next. They do not question if they will be provided for. They simply rest in the certainty that they are safe. That is the kind of trust you are being called to embody. A trust that does not waver, a trust that remains steady even when the winds of life are strong, a trust that knows without a doubt that everything is already taken care of. Look back at your life. How many times have you thought that things were falling apart, only to realize later that they were actually falling into place? How many times have you feared the worst, only to be met with unexpected blessings? How many times have you doubted, only to later see that God had been working all along? If He did it before, He will do it again. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His promises have not changed. His power has not diminished. His love for you has not wavered. Right now, you may not see the way forward. You may not understand how things will come together, but that is not your concern. Your concern is to align yourself with the truth. Your concern is to hold fast to faith. Your concern is to speak only what you desire to see, to think only thoughts of victory, to dwell only in the certainty that all is well. Do not let the noise of the world distract you. Do not let the opinions of others shake your confidence. Do not let temporary circumstances convince you of a false reality. What you see with your physical eyes is fleeting, but what is unseen is eternal. What is unseen is what matters most. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. Everything you have been asking for, everything you have been hoping for, is waiting for you to step into alignment with it. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop resisting, the moment you release the need to control, the floodgates will open. You will see with clarity what has been there all along. You will realize that you were never waiting on God. He was waiting on you. The struggle ends the moment you decide it does. The burden lifts the moment you let go. The solution appears the moment you believe it is already done. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be, and that bridge is already built. You only need to walk across it. Every delay you have faced has served a purpose. Every challenge you have encountered has strengthened you. Every hardship you have endured has prepared you. Nothing has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single prayer, not a single moment of uncertainty has been in vain. It has all been working together for your good. And when you finally see the full picture, when you finally understand the divine plan that has been unfolding all along, you will stand in awe of how perfectly everything has been arranged. There is no need to fear what is ahead. There is no need to worry about how things will unfold. There is no need to question whether you are worthy of receiving the blessings that have been prepared for you. You are worthy because He has made you worthy. You are chosen, you are favored. You are loved beyond measure. Let today be the day you decide to trust completely. Let today be the day you release every doubt, every fear, every hesitation. Let today be the day you stand in the fullness of faith, knowing that what you have asked for is already on its way. Not tomorrow, not someday in the distant future, but now, in this moment, because the moment you believe, it is done. Close your eyes and breathe in this truth. Let it fill every part of you. Let it settle into your heart and take root in your soul. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And you never will be. Everything you need is already yours. Everything you desire is already unfolding. And all that is required of you is to receive. The universe is already moving in your favor. Every force in existence is aligning to bring forth what has been promised to you. There has never been a delay, only preparation. There has never been denial, only divine timing. The moment you recognize this truth, the weight you have been carrying will dissolve, the worry that has gripped your mind will release its hold, and peace will take its place. AC, then, very short, you will finally understand that nothing was ever missing. Everything was always unfolding exactly as it should. You have prayed, you have asked. But have you truly received? Have you truly stepped into the knowing that what you desire is already done? Or have you been waiting, hoping, hesitating? There is a difference between wanting something and living as though it is already yours. God does not respond to desperation. He responds to faith. Faith is not begging. Faith is not pleading. Faith is the unwavering certainty that what has been spoken will come to pass. But look around you. Everything you see was once unseen. Every breakthrough you have experienced was once a prayer. Every blessing you have received was once just a thought. And yet, here you are, standing in the reality of what was once only a vision. What makes you think that the next miracle will be any different? What makes you believe that God has suddenly stopped working on your behalf? He has not stopped. He has not forgotten. He has not changed. When a farmer plants a seed, he does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He does not question whether it will bear fruit. He does not doubt the process. He simply trusts, waters the soil, and waits in confidence, knowing that in due time the harvest will come. That is the kind of faith you are being called to embody. A faith that does not waver. A faith that does not question. A faith that stands firm, regardless of what the physical eyes can see. You were never meant to struggle. You were never meant to live in a state of fear, uncertainty, or lack. These are illusions, temporary distractions from the greater truth that resides within you. The truth is that abundance is already yours, healing is already yours, breakthrough is already yours. But you must accept it. You must claim it. You must stand in the fullness of faith and say, it is done. Every time you doubt, you delay. Every time you fear, you push away what is rightfully yours. Every time you focus on the problem, you strengthen it. But when you shift your focus, when you turn your attention to the certainty of God's provision, when you align yourself with the divine order of the universe, everything begins to flow effortlessly. The walls that once seemed impenetrable crumble. The barriers that once stood in your way dissolve. The doors that once seemed closed swing wide open. You have been conditioned to believe that you must strive, that you must fight, that you must struggle for what is already freely given. But what if you simply let go? What if you released every ounce of resistance and surrendered to the flow of divine grace? What if you stopped worrying altogether and stepped fully into trust. It is not your job to know how. It is not your job to figure out when. Your only responsibility is to believe, to trust so completely that there is no room for fear, to have such certainty that even in the darkest moments you stand unshaken, knowing that the light is already on its way. God is not limited by time. He is not bound by circumstances. He is not restricted by what appears impossible. What seems like a mountain to you is nothing more than a pebble in the hands of the Almighty. What seems like an obstacle to you is nothing more than an illusion waiting to dissolve. But you must allow it. You must step out of the way and let divine order take over. Worry is an act of distrust. It is a sign that you have not fully surrendered, and yet surrender is the key. Surrender is not giving up. It is rising above. It is choosing to release the burden and allow the highest power to work on your behalf. It is standing in stillness, not because you are powerless, but because you know that the greatest power in existence is already moving through you. The moment you stop resisting, everything will shift. The answers you have been seeking will appear effortlessly. The solutions you have been searching for will present themselves without struggle. The opportunities you have been waiting for will come knocking at your door. Because it was never about effort. It was never about force. It was always about alignment. When you align yourself with truth, the world around you must conform. When you align yourself with faith, reality has no choice but to mirror that faith. When you align yourself with divine timing, everything falls into place with precision, ease, and perfection. You do not need to chase. You do not need to beg. You only need to receive. Receiving is not passive. It is an active choice. It is the choice to trust when everything in you wants to doubt. It is the choice to believe when the world tells you otherwise. It is the choice to stand firm in faith, knowing that what has been promised is already yours. The noise of the world will try to distract you. The doubts in your mind will try to shake you. The circumstances before you will try to convince you that nothing is changing. But that is only a test. That is only a temporary illusion designed to strengthen your resolve. Do not waver. Do not give in to fear. Hold your ground and know that everything is working. This is not the time to question. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the time to step fully into faith, to declare with absolute certainty that all things are being made right, to move forward with the confidence that the way is already prepared, to live as though you have already received, because in truth you have. The moment you truly believe is the moment everything changes. Not tomorrow, not next week now. Because faith does not operate in time. It operates in the eternal now. The moment you decide that you are free, you are free. The moment you decide that you are healed, you are healed. The moment you decide that your breakthrough has come, it has already arrived. You have spent enough time worrying. You have spent enough time doubting. You have spent enough time waiting. Now is the time to step fully into trust. Now is the time to release every fear, every hesitation, every ounce of resistance. Now is the time to stand in the absolute knowing that God has already made a way. Breathe in the truth of these words. Let them settle deep within your spirit. Let them dissolve every lingering doubt. Let them replace every fear with certainty. You are safe. You are loved. You are provided for. And everything you have been asking for, everything you have been seeking, is already on its way. Not because of what you have done, not because of how hard you have tried, but because you are a child of God and He has already declared it to be so. It is finished. It is done. And now, all that remains is for you to receive. The power that created the heavens and the earth is the same power that flows through you now. It has never left you. It has never been distant. It has never withheld anything from you. But you have been taught to look outside of yourself, to search for solutions in the world, to believe that your answer lies somewhere beyond your reach. That is the great illusion. The truth is, everything you seek is already within you. That every solution, every breakthrough, every blessing, it is already yours. But you must awaken to this knowing. You must stop waiting, stop doubting, stop believing that you are separate from the divine source that sustains all things. When you pray, do you pray from a place of lack or from a place of certainty? Do you beg for what is already yours, or do you give thanks, knowing that it is already being granted? This is the difference between faith and fear. Fear prays as if God is far away. Fear prays as if there is uncertainty in the outcome. But faith prays with gratitude. Faith does not ask, it claims. Faith does not wonder. It knows. And the moment you shift from hoping to knowing, everything changes. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were never meant to live in anxiety, stress, or fear. These things are not of God. These things are not your natural state. Your natural state is peace. Your natural state is joy. Your natural state is complete and total trust. And when you return to this state, the entire universe bends to meet you where you stand. Doors open effortlessly. Opportunities arise where before there were none. Solutions present themselves without struggle. Because the moment you align with divine truth, the entire fabric of reality must shift to reflect that truth. You have spent so much time trying to control, trying to fix, trying to make things happen, and yet you have not realized that the very act of trying is resistance. The moment you release, the moment you surrender, the moment you let go of the need to figure everything out, you will see that it was never your burden to carry in the first place. God does not need your struggle. He does not need your effort. He simply needs your trust. Look at the birds of the air. They do not worry about where their next meal will come from, and yet they are fed. Look at the lilies of the field. They do not toil, and yet they bloom in perfect beauty. If God so perfectly provides for them, how much more will He provide for you? You who are made in His image. You who are His beloved creation. You who are already held in His hands. Amen. But still you worry. Still you fear. Still you believe that you must take matters into your own hands, as if the one who created all things is not capable of guiding your steps. And yet each time you let go, each time you release your grip, each time you surrender the illusion of control, you find that life moves with perfect ease, that the answers come, that the solutions appear, that the weight lifts, that at last remonstrates that you were not meant to live in a state of waiting. You were meant to live in a state of receiving. And receiving does not require effort. It requires faith. It requires you to stop questioning, stop hesitating, stop wondering whether or not God is working on your behalf. Because He is. He always has been. He always will be. The only thing standing in your way is your own resistance. The moment you release it, everything will flow. The moment you stop doubting, everything will unfold. The moment you trust completely, you will see that the very thing you have been seeking has been seeking you all along. It has been waiting for you to align with it, to step into the certainty of existence, to claim it as already done. There is no delay in the kingdom of God. There is no hesitation. There is no lack. These are illusions of the human mind, distractions that pull you away from the deeper truth that you are already whole, already provided for, already held in the perfect love of God. And the moment you wake up to this truth, the moment you embody it fully, the world around you will shift in ways you never thought possible. You do not need to understand how. You do not need to see the full picture. You only need to trust. And trust is not something that wavers. Trust is not something that changes with circumstance. True trust remains unshaken even when the world gives every reason to doubt. True trust stands firm even in the face of uncertainty. True trust knows that beyond every obstacle there is a greater plan unfolding, a plan that is already set in motion, a plan that cannot fail. God is not waiting to bless you. He has already blessed you. God is not withholding your breakthrough. It is already done. God is not testing you to see if you are worthy. You are already chosen. The only thing left for you to do is believe it, to step fully into this knowing, to release every last bit of doubt, and step into the certainty that all is well, that all has been taken care of, that all is unfolding exactly as it should. Every time you worry, remind yourself that worry is a choice. Every time you doubt, remind yourself that doubt is an illusion. Every time you feel fear creeping in, remind yourself that fear is nothing more than a false story your mind has created. And in that moment, choose faith instead. Choose to trust, choose to believe, choose to know with every fiber of your being that God has already made a way. There are no accidents in your life. There are no mistakes. Everything that has happened, everything that is happening, everything that will happen, it is all part of a divine design. A perfect orchestration that is leading you exactly where you need to be. And when you stop fighting it, when you stop resisting it, when you stop trying to force things to happen on your own, you will see that everything is already in motion. Everything is already flowing. Everything is already done. It is time to step out of the struggle. It is time to step out of the fear. It is time to step fully into the knowing that you are already held, already loved, already taken care of. It is time to stop looking for signs. Stop asking for reassurance. Stop questioning whether or not God is working in your life. He is. He always has been. He always will be. And the moment you stop questioning, the moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop hesitating and simply trust, you will see that everything you have been waiting for has been waiting for you. You do not need to earn your blessing. You do not need to prove yourself worthy. You do not need to struggle for what has already been freely given. You only need to receive it. And receiving is not about effort. It is about surrender. It is about releasing every last ounce of fear, every last drop of doubt, every last trace of resistance, and stepping fully into the knowing that it is already done. Everything is working out for you. Every detail is being arranged in your favor. Every challenge is preparing you for the blessing that is already on its way. And when you truly understand this, when you truly embody this, when you truly stand in the fullness of faith without wavering, you will see that God has already solved it, that every prayer has already been answered, that every need has already been met, that everything you have ever desired has already been given. Now, the only thing left is for you to trust, to believe, to step into the certainty that you are already taken care of, to let go of every doubt, every fear, every hesitation, and finally rest in the truth that it is done, that it has always been done, that it will always be done. And the moment you do, you will see that the very thing you were searching for was never far away. It was never out of reach. So it was always here. It was always yours. It was always waiting for you to simply believe. So now stand firm in your faith. Release every burden, every doubt, every fear. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. And you are not alone. God has already gone before you, preparing the way, aligning every detail, orchestrating every moment for your highest good. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to figure it all out. You simply need to trust. Trust that the answer is already within you. Trust that the solution is already unfolding. Trust that God has already solved it. And as you walk forward with this knowing, as you let go and surrender fully, you will see miracles unfold before your very eyes. You will see doors open that no man can shut. You will see blessings chase you down. And you will finally understand that all along, everything was working together for your good. It is done. It has always been done. Now simply believe.